The Bay here in Prince George has a long history. The Hudson's Bay Company actually goes back over 100 years to when it was a trading post here in Prince George. We're going to tell you a little bit of how that worked and some historic items from that era in history from the exploration place. They have some actually on hand. So we're going to do all that and more on CKPG today. It's the talk of the town, if you will, the liquidation of the Hudson's Bay Company, of course, right here in Prince George. The Bay, well, they've seen better days, but there is a lot of history behind the brand, especially here in Prince George. Where we're standing right now used to be part of the fort, or the trading post. There's actually never a fort here, but the trading post where the Hudson's Bay Company originally set up over 100 years ago. And what were they doing? What were they selling? We're going to find out some of the artifacts today at the exploration place. The Hudson's Bay Company, very historic indeed, and there's lots to talk about inside the exploration place here, and especially in the archives, Chad. Tell me, you guys got a lot here.
We have quite a bit of Hudson's Bay Company material. I mean, it's iconic. It really, for good and bad, there's no place in Canada that is untouched by the Hudson's Bay Company, and it really is the end of an era.
Yeah, no kidding. And including here in, well, Fort George at the time, is what it was, South Fort and Prince George, I guess. It's all kind of happening, and the Hudson's Bay Company arrives. It changes everything in town.
Oh, 100%. And it was the Pacific, it was the Northwest Company before the Hudson's Bay Company here. So it was a Northwest Company trading post, which shut down because of some unfortunate happenings. And then when they merged together, it reopened as a Hudson's Bay Company, which put an end to some horrible feuding and warring between the two companies.
Interesting. Okay, well, now the interesting stuff on the table. This, I don't believe what animal it is. I actually don't believe it. But.
It is a beaver felt hat. This is how the Hudson's Bay Company got its start. Fashion. Right? That's amazing that it's beaver felt. I'm always astonished too.
Yeah, like how does that even? Really?
It's not me.
No, I'm not a trapper. But.
And this one actually came to us from a gentleman by the name of Ernie Pinker, who was a camp cook here in the early 1900s. So his family donated it later on in life, but it belonged to him. He was a fashionable gent.
Interesting. So game worn, early 1900s. That's kind of interesting.
Early 1900s, yeah, 100%. These were in fashion for a very long time, and they actually wiped out beaver populations in Europe, and that's why they had to come over here to get at our beavers.
Got to protect the beavers.
Exactly.
But this jug, tell me about the jugs now.
Oh, well, of course, this is a popular trading item. For furs, a little bit of the old hooch.
Oh, right? The classic homemade hooch.
Exactly. Again, for good and bad.
Yeah. So this is the basically older version of the modern day growler or something like that?
Yeah, that's what I would call, you're not putting beer in it, you're putting rum, whiskey, that sort of thing. Probably a lot of whiskey. A lot of Hudson's Bay companies set up grist mills to manufacture their own whiskey, so...
This one period, do we know?
No, this actually came to us from the Northern Hardware collection. So, I mean, it could be quite vintage. It could be more recent and just a replica.
Gotcha. Okay, and now what is this?
Coffee. Fort Garry Coffee. It was Fort Garry was an actual fort in the east, and this coffee was very popular at forts as a trading item as well. And it was a Hudson's Bay Company icon for sure.
Now, speaking historically here, Chad, were people as caffeine addicted back then as they are now?
Probably more. It started with the tea, again, the Hudson's Bay Company tea. But then people went on to harder stuff like the coffee.
Yeah, which they put other things in back then.
Yes, I'm sure they did a little bit to you know, hit the morning with a good gusto, right?
As one does. And now to the most iconic pieces here on the table. This is a collector's item, but this one is you got before the bay closed, luckily.
We got this far before the bay closed. Interestingly, you were telling me a story about thinking about buying a blanket. Now they're sold out.
Can't get them.
Our collection, this is one of the rare cases where our curator back in the 80s was in Winnipeg and bought one of these blankets to bring back for the collection.
Wow.
And so it's not as vintage, it's more recent, but it is still an icon nonetheless because they have sold out of these things, and these blankets were, I mean, they were the sign that the Hudson's Bay Company was in your region because they were such a huge trade item.
And the other thing on these blankets, I don't know if this one has it particularly, but the notches for the number of beaver pelts. Yeah, there.
Right there. Exactly.
This is a thing.
This is a thing, yeah. 100% this is a thing.
So it was worth 4 beaver pelts, this blanket?
Yeah, exactly. Most of them were 3-point blankets, but this apparently was a 4-point blanket. Go figure.
Extra size,
Exactly.
And this, what is it, a jacket?
This is a jacket. This is what these blankets got turned into most often. Again, this is a much more recent one, one that the Bay would have sold, but Indigenous communities around the region would have turned these into jackets and blankets and things for their own uses.
Interesting. Now, historically speaking, as well, as we wrap this up here, Chad, how many of the actual things from the Bay now that people are going bananas over? I think the blankets will become pretty historic, but what do you think? Anything else that's gonna, pique the interest maybe 50 years from now?
I don't know. That's a really hard thing to gauge. The first thing I always think of is these blankets. I mean, if they had a resurgence of the hats, right? Because again, it all started with fashion, right? And these people always try to say what, the different lines, the colored lines represent different things. Didn't represent anything. They were just a fashionable design at the time. Again, fashion was king.
Well, hey, maybe Chad, if they brought back the beaver hats, they wouldn't have gone into liquidation.
Maybe. I would have bought like a dozen of those things. Those are great.
Coming back in style, you just never know. Thanks for the education here, Chad, and hey, maybe you got a future exhibit on hand here.
Maybe, yes, 100%. You got to strike while it's gold.
That's right. Thanks, Chad. April is volunteering month here in Canada, and a great way to celebrate the community because there's so much to celebrate, but they need help celebrating it with volunteers. I think I might have talked myself into a circle there, Dakota, but thanks so much for making the time here from Volunteer PG to talk a little bit more about volunteering. Happy Volunteering Month to you.
Thank you. Happy Volunteering Month to you as well. And at the end of the month, from the 27th to the 3rd of May, it's Volunteering Week, National Volunteering Week as well. So
even more reason to get out there and volunteer.
Absolutely.
I want to start with you here first personally because you signed on with Volunteer PG to help people volunteer.
Yes.
What does it for you? Why is it special to do that?
Well, when we look at why people volunteer, the reasons for volunteering, it's because there's traditionally gaps within the community that, say, for-profit industries can't necessarily fulfill. There's just not money to be made or a traditional incentive. And volunteering is a way we can start to bridge those gaps and provide services where there is typically little.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of opportunity in Prince George. Prince George, known as the volunteering city, famously acclaimed during the Canada Winter Games, which I was saying, Dakota, selfishly, is where my journey to broadcasting started. So I think that's also worth saying is you can start something or learn more about something through volunteering as well.
Right, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, I think the Canada Winter Games, I'm not sure exactly how many volunteers they had, but
yeah, 3,000.
Yeah, 3,000, and you still see the green jackets to this day.
You sure do. Yeah, I have them in my closet. Yeah. I try not to wear it out because, well, it's not trendy anymore, but
I still see them. I still see them.
So Volunteer PG is an organization. Talk to me a little bit about what you guys are all about as well, because I think it's good for people to know, the people watching, the work that you guys do and the database that you have online.
Yeah, so effectively what we do at Volunteer Prince George is we go and we find individuals in the community who wish to volunteer. We then collect a little bit of information on them, be it like skills, interests, goals, availability. Typically, the way we get most information is through a form. Individuals will fill out a form, we'll collect it. We'll then go to our members, which are the people that actually have the volunteer opportunities, and we match them up with the best opportunity that fits given their information.
Right, so this could be anything from hospice to the seniors council or council of seniors to anything, right?
Yeah, we just recently got a new member, the working with animals, one sec.
Oh, the PG Humane Society,
yes,
probably.
PG Humane Society, yep. We've had others like SPCA in the past. There's even members like the Northern Bear Awareness Society. So
yes.
People can go teach a little bit about bear awareness as well. So there's a lot from animals to administrative work all the way to seniors and youth programming like Connaught Youth Center. Then there's also a lot of arts, so like Studio 2880, Two Rivers Gallery, Amanika. There's just plenty of opportunities in the community of Prince George.
Yeah, all great friends of the show as well. I think this is also a good opportunity to tell people out there who want to maybe become members with Volunteer PG, say their business is looking for some volunteers or for an event or something like that. How do they find out more? Is that under your purview?
Yeah, so they can reach out to us and we can speak with them directly and sort of come up with some volunteer listings. Maybe, so it depends what the organization needs. Sometimes you've had organizations with many volunteer positions and then they prefer to just have sort of general information out there. But if they do have specific positions they're looking for, we can also just list that and transfer that information over to the volunteers.
Yeah, well, I think it's great. I wanted to end this, Dakota, because I was talking about the Canada Winter Games, my experience with being that part of that army of green. But for you, what kind of cool experiences have you had volunteering?
So I think my favorite volunteering experience was when I was an assistant coach with Kaitan Mixed Martial Arts. I got to sort of supervise the youth and help build them up, build the sort of courage as well as sort of self-restraint it takes, because, I mean, if you're combating, you should be able to manage that and not go and use it inappropriately. So I think I've had a good impact on that front.
Yeah, coaching is a great way to do it as well.
It is.
Yeah, so many opportunities here in Prince George, a volunteering city, and you can access all those on the Volunteer PG website. We'll link that on ckpgtoday.ca. And I guess the important thing, a volunteering month and volunteering week falls in April, but the volunteering opportunities never stop.
No, they're continuous, and everyone needs volunteers, so there's no shortage of opportunities, and there will never be a shortage of opportunities.
Yeah, definitely. Make some time, volunteer, be part of the community. Thanks so much, Dakota, for coming and volunteering as part of our show today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Miss an episode? That's okay, life gets busy. We get it. Or maybe you didn't miss anything, but you're here to watch that one feature again because honestly, it was that good. No judgment. Here's the good news. You can relive every moment of the CKPG Today Show whenever you want. Head over to ckpgtoday.ca, click on the Today Show tab, and voila. So grab some snacks, kick back, and binge away because let's face it, life's too short to miss out on great local TV. It's time for another edition of War of the Wings here at Nancy O's. Oh my goodness! Look at those in a beautiful display here. Okay, what kind of wings are these?
These are our buffalo wings. We've got a couple different flavors, but these ones are really popular.
Okay.
Spiciness level, what would you say?
Pretty high, pretty up there.
Okay.
It's literal peppers.
And some ranch dip to cool off?
Yes, yes.
All right.
That's buttermilk aioli, but yeah.
Buttermilk aioli to dip. Okay, without further ado, wing-a-ding-ding.
I just want can I have the cast iron pans?
No, Clinton, this is about the wings. Of course, we have Commander Clinton, the General, here as well. I'm Cadet Caden, play-by-play for today. What are we thinking?
That's crispy.
Crispy, saucy, spicy.
It's my sinuses are clearing here just by being over top of them. Woo.
Pretty much. They're really good.
This is good.
Good first bite. Love it.
Loving the breading.
Loving the breading. They look, I was gonna say, the sauce, it looks all in a good balance.
Yeah. Like not like totally dripping, but like nicely coated. This is a good wing.
This is a good one.
Lots of sauce, and it's not softening the batter.
Oh, okay. This is key markers here. We're looking for lots of different things. Display looks really good today.
Eat the jalapeno. Do
I'm
it.
not eating the jalapeno. I have to
Eat the
host
jalapeno.
this show.
Eat the jalapeno.
You got the aioli to cool off with.
I didn't take the big one. I'm going to take a little baby one.
Is that a spicy jalapeno?
Oh, it's kind of sweet, actually.
Oh, nice.
No, actually, never mind. No. Do you think a wing would cool my mouth down?
It might. There's a good chance of that.
All right. Well, as we wrap up this edition here at Nancy O's, what are some of our final thoughts?
I gotta try this. So good.
So good?
This is a hearty wing. This is a good wing.
All right. Signing off. We're signing to the ceasefire here at Nancy O's. This has been another edition of War of the Wings with, I think, the spiciest one yet. But in a good way.
Today, the next introduction in our War of the Wings. Just kidding, it's actually the CKPG snapshot. This one comes from Ann Spears. This is a swan. I don't know what swan wings would taste like on the barbecue, but I do know they look great in a picture. So thank you so much, Ann, for sending this one in. Of course, lots of beautiful swans out in the Vanderhoof, Nechako area. So yeah, definitely a sight to see if you haven't seen that before. Hey there, got an idea or a suggestion for the show? Reach out and connect through our social media or send us an email at letstalk@ckpgtoday.ca.
When you look back on the archives, it's crazy to think how many things were done, filmed here in Prince George. It's actually nuts. I did not know The Miracle on Ice had a scene filmed at the CN Center. And while, yes, I've watched the movie before, I guess I just wasn't watching close enough. Let's take a look back today in local history at what was apparently a very elite club of extras.
Looking back to 2003, people were waiting for a miracle because the movie Miracle, you know, the hockey one where the Americans win, that was filmed here in Prince George at the CN Center. There was some other places in BC, in the Lower Mainland, they picked to film it, but they also picked the CN Center. If you look very closely, you can see it, and there's about 800 extras that are part of this as well. Did you do it? Maybe you did it for $8 an hour. Boy, oh boy. Well, at least you could buy a Coke nowadays with that.
Yes, Miracle on Ice. Great movie, though. I will say that. I'm going to have to rewatch it now to just watch for that part of CN Center. Crazy, crazy stuff. Prince George. It's hosted a lot more than we think. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. It's hosted our show, by the way. So there you go. Add that to the list. Right up there with Miracle, right? Yeah, no, probably not. But we'll see for more great stuff on the show tomorrow. Bye for now.